Hey guys, welcome to Becky's Garden Paradise. I'm going to take you around and show you some updates on my garden. So I hope that you enjoy. If you like what you see, remember to like, share, and subscribe. You can hit the bell so that you get notifications whenever I post new videos. Alright, so I picked a few green beans. I broke one when I was picking it, but I'll show you the difference that fertilizer makes in just a moment. If you watched my earlier videos, my last garden tour, my rattlesnake pole beans were looking kind of bare. They'd lost a lot of leaves to disease, and they'd slowed down on their blossoming or fruiting. So we gave them some fertilizer, and I'll show you how filled in they are. So I have my little basket out here, but I want to show you my poblano. This is from last year. And this is like a 4-foot, I believe, tomato cage that I have it in. And it's skinny, but it has all kinds of new growth on it. I believe it's root bound, so these leaves down at the bottom always droop, which I'm going to keep it going because it's still fruiting. You can see some peppers up in there, and then it has a lot of new growth and new blooms on it. So whenever I see the peppers blooming, they blow in the wind, but I'll give them a little shake to help them pollinate. I also have this blasted vine growing from the bush to my cage that I gotta cut off. This is Smilax. You can see the thorns on it. It's the devil. And I got my gloves because I have some zucchini that's ready. But I wanted to show you my peppers. This is the jalapeno. It's doing much better. It had some yellowing of the leaves early in the season because I neglected it a little bit over the winter, but it's back and it's growing some good size jalapenos on it. And then I have cubanelles that get the morning sun, plus they get a little bit of filtered sun in the evening. They're fruiting. There are a couple over there. There's a good one right there. Good size. And then this one over here has some smaller peppers on it. One of the big differences is in the habanero. So in the beginning of the spring, when this thing started fruiting again, it had teeny tiny, I had it in a video, like teardrop size peppers that were ripening. But with some TLC, they are much bigger. This is like a 6-inch habanero pepper, so it's like a habanero without the heat, and there's blooms all over it. If I lift these branches on the bottom up carefully, there are a lot of peppers underneath there. Lift this branch up, got a couple underneath there. This is the mystery pepper. That, I believe, is a pimento or paprika pepper. And it has some more peppers growing on it. It's a smoky sweet pepper. These are my provider bush beans that I have growing in this tiered planter. It's up on a stack of these bricks, elevated up off the ground, but I thought it was a perfect place to put this container. And they're all starting to bud, so I'll be getting green beans here soon. So I chose to put it here because it's close to the rain barrel and it's close to the water hose, so that I can make sure I keep it watered. Because the further away it is, the more likely I am to kind of forget about it and let it go a little bit too long without water. But here it's doing well, and you can see it's getting some morning sun. And I turn around, this is the cubanelle that I harvested from a few days ago, but it still has, not sure if you can see with this light, still has a few more peppers growing on it, 4, 5 that I can see, 5 more peppers growing on it, so I'll be able to pick those in probably, I'll say a couple weeks, to be honest. Alright, and then this row of Rattlesnake pole beans is doing much better. It has a lot of new growth, new leaves, new blooms all over the place, so that fertilizer really did help keep it going, because I knew they're supposed to be productive through the heat of the summer. So I'm pleased with that, and I went ahead and filled in some of the gaps with more seed, so some of those have germinated and will be coming up and producing as well. I do have an intruder up in here. I can't hardly see, but I don't know if you can see it or not. It is called a harlequin bug, and it's a type of stink bug, so those are bad. It's going to lay eggs and make lots of babies. I got to get that out of here. The cherry tomato looks good. It has some fruit on it. It's not super loaded, but it's been hot. Some of the blossoms dropped off. But I'm gonna get some cherry tomatoes soon. Let me just go in so you can see some of the cherry tomatoes. I have tomatillos that aren't. They have lots of blooms, haven't started producing yet. Have some bell peppers over here. You can see one on there. Plus some mushrooms. That means the soil is good and healthy. And then I have a baby bell pepper coming in right there. I gotta prune this. Look, there's a dragonfly. Oop, there it is. I gotta prune this squash. We're supposed to be getting rain today and over the next couple days. So there's some leaves that aren't looking too good on it. So I'm gonna come out here and prune it and weed before it rains. But I have some, let's see, this one has a little baby squash on it. I've harvested a couple from that already. This one is a different type because the leaves are different, but they're both yellow summer squashes, different types. This is another one that hasn't done a lot, but it has a couple babies on it. So I'm hoping those have gotten pollinated. This is big old zucchini. So the zucchini have grown a lot bigger and bushier than the squash. These are the zucchini. And I have some in there ready to pick. Well, I got my handy dandy gloves because they're prickly. They don't have thorns on them, but especially the stems have little pricklies. So let me put this on so that I can show you my harvest. Think about making zucchini bread. Looked up a recipe. Excuse me. There we go. So I'll show you on the stems. Let's see if you can see it. I'm blocking. Those little hairs are prickly. So I'll wear a glove. Some people are gangsta and they just reach in there and it doesn't bother them, but alright, so we're gonna get this zucchini. Now I'm gonna get out here and do some pruning. Take all the yucky leaves off. So you gotta twist it. You don't have to cut it. If you have a knife, you can cut it. I'm trying to make sure you guys can see. Ooh, I feel the pricklies on my arm. There we go. I'm twisting it counterclockwise. Sorry you can't see the leaves blocking. It comes right off. When you pick it fresh, look at that water dripping out. Happens to cucumbers too. That doesn't happen when you get them from the store. But this is a beautiful, good size, probably 8 inches long zucchini. I'm going to cook today. Either cook it like sauteed, or I might make some succotash, or I might make zucchini bread. We'll see. I'm going to put this in the basket and see what else I have. But the tomatoes are all doing good. Just to show you, got another pepper over there. I planted some, what do you call them? Yard long beans along this fence, and a couple of those have come up along with some sweet potato seedlings that I got to pull. cucumber's doing good. Has blossoms on it. I'm going to check and see if I have any cucumbers yet. And most of the okra came through. The okra that I transplanted last week. So let me come over here. So the first one is not going to make it. It turned brown. But I planted 10. So 2, 4, 6, 8 have made it. You see, they didn't take long to bounce back up, just a few days, and they straightened back up and have some new growth on them. So that is excellent. Just 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, I got 8. There's another casualty laying down over there. See if I can point it right there. So, but most of them made it. 8 out of like 11, I think, is how many I planted all together. So I'll take it. They were free. I was blessed with them, I should say, from Mr. Lewis. Thanks for joining me today, and I hope that the garden brings you joy.